It's Generation B.
This is Petty with Good Intentions. I'm Gabby.
I'm Thomas.
Our intentions are good, but our thoughts are petty. Welcome back to another episode of Petty.
Thank you for having me back.
Yeah, I mean, I look like we're wearing the same thing, but it's really not. It's a completely different week. It just happens to be the day we wore the same exact thing. So I just wanted to do a shameless plug really quick. Okay, so I'm finna drink this hot mess I made up in my kitchen. It is my interpretation of a vodka sunrise, made with absolute peach, I believe. But what I would rather have is Tipsy Sips. In an episode a couple of months ago, we actually had some drinks that were sponsored by Tipsy Sips, and they were amazing. So Tipsy Sips, if you watch it, hook your girl up, jump in my inbox. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know your price is on your page, but
Shouts out to Tipsy Sips.
Shouts out to Tipsy Sips. I hope this tastes good. I know it's not gonna taste as good, but let me taste it real quick.
What I got is Scrone. Not Scrone. With a C.
Tipsy Sips is way better than this, but I'm gonna drink it because I done made it. So here we are, another week, another episode, and today's topic is going to be a little risque.
Let's get into it.
So, big brother, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Well, normally, what does Kirk normally say to me, Michael? What's on your mind, Gabby? I miss you, Kirk. Kirk always says, well, what's on your mind, Gabby? And I'm like, I'm glad you asked. So I'm glad you asked. Do you think that a one-night stand can turn into a relationship? And why? Or why not?
I think the real question is, should it turn into a relationship?
I mean, it depends on how great the one-night stand was. Right? Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Because I've had some one-night stands that was some 2, 3, 9, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stands.
Wow.
So
okay. Well, do tell.
I mean,
on the Petty Podcast.
Here's the thing. Like, I feel like, can they be relationships? Yes.
Okay.
Should they be relationships? It depends. I feel like I've had my fair share of one night stands. Mm-hmm. Hoe is life. Hashtag.
Hoe is life.
Hashtag.
Hoe is life.
It's coming back 2023.
No, it is not. You is not gonna do your
Hoe is life.
What's that girl? She sung the song. She dated Diddy for a long time.
Oh, Carisha?
Who?
Cassie. I told you about Carisha Please.
I don't even know who Carisha Please
from
is.
Young Miami, from City Girls.
Oh, she's currently. Did he just have a baby? Okay, I'm sorry. We don't do that on here. I'm sorry. But anywho's Cassie? Mm-hmm. Remember she had the song. I think it's Me and You.
Oh, yeah.
That was a straight. I thought, and maybe I was young because I was a little young when that song came out. I always thought that was like not a thought, because back then we wasn't saying thought. I thought it was like a whole song.
Really?
I thought so. So that's what I said. You're not gonna get your Cassie on because she was like, all the guys be talking about the way I do what I do. You
so
know
people
what?
Got some tales.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, first of all, they telling
about what I do, and you
want to see if it's true. And I'm thinking,
it is
and she
true.
said, you're the one I want to give it to. And I'm like, that's a little.
Listen, I got.
So
there's some people who know what I do.
Are they telling?
And they bet not. They bet not.
Oh my gosh! So this would be the perfect time for Brittany to be here, so she can stop saying that I'm giving out what she say. I'm giving out thought vibes or.
Listen, I mean, hoe is life. I don't like people see me and I'm real reserved and I'm real quiet, but the people who know, they know I'm a whole kind of.
So you're a hoe, and you admitting it.
I did that shit. And listen. Hoe is life.
Hoe is life. So have you? I mean, I can't speak on this subject because I am an innocent woman of God who values. I hope y'all cannot hear Michael.
I have a microphone now.
I had one night stand in my how many years of life.
Really?
Only one. And it was horrible.
Really?
So it was terrible. So it kind of wounded, not wounded me, but it taught me a lesson that life ain't for me.
Listen, my 20s, I could write a book about my 20s. My 20s was just, I was slinging from left and right, tossing it up.
I would have never in my entire life would think. Now, I do have, okay, I'm not going to put his business out there. I would have thought that you was like, I always put you, not always, but when I don't think of you in sex, but if I had to, I would say you would be more on the realm of Brittany.
Trying to relationship somebody?
No. Brittany don't, I'm not telling my sister's business. But you know, she has her husband. She loves her husband. No other man on earth exists but her husband. So that's the mindset I'm talking about. Not whatever they do behind closed doors. They got children, so they do something. Not that, but just So you've laid down or stood up or whatever up in somebody and like.
So you're doing a bending.
Oh my blessed Lord. Okay, so you didn't expect anything out of it. Like it was just.
Oh no.
Oh my God. I mean.
Let me tell you something. So my 20s was wild.
Oh my Lord.
But my early 30s was just wild too. Like there was a period of time in 2020, between 2020 and 2021, where it was like, don't come over here. And I would always tell, like, don't come over here with a lot of layers.
Oh, my Lord. Thank you, Lord. No one has ever told me that.
Do not come over here with a lot of layers.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yes, clothes.
I don't want to be going through all of that.
So take your clothes off.
Yeah.
I can't believe,
this is not romance. I'm not unhooking you and zipping you down.
Okay, so... Oh my gosh! I'm not against the one-nighters. I think, hey, get it. But it's just, I can't do a one-nighter. Not because I'm every person I have sex with that I'm looking for a relationship. That is definitely not it. But it's a mental thing for me. I have to like you to be turned on by you. Like if I don't like you, then I'm not wet. I'm just, do what we really have to do? So it has to be a mental thing for me. Like I just don't get turned on by. Okay, so there are some who look good. I'm like, okay, he can get it. But I've never given it. You know what I mean? Ever.
Listen, if you take it, I'm going to give it.
Oh, my merciful.
If I'm throwing it and you catching it.
Oh, my gosh. So are you like an aggressor? Like, do you initiate the one night stand? Like, what are the steps to a one night stand? Like, what's step one? Like, do you find somebody? Step two?
Yeah, you gotta like find somebody. You gotta like, there are some people, because there's some sites and things like that people go on. And don't just think it's hookup sites, because I've had some one night stands on Tinder. Yes, on Tinder. And on Hinge. And on BLK. But that's not what we're here for. But what I will say is that you gotta find somebody who wants to equally have a one night stand, because there's nothing that I hate than trying to hook up with a person who wants to now sleep over, cook breakfast, exchange. Like, there was one person, we didn't exchange numbers. We chatted on on Snapchat.
Oh my God.
So the messages would disappear. I want no record of this.
So again, I am not against the one-nighters. I think if you see someone and they are visually, appeasing and you want to go there, I'm by all means, do you whatever makes you happy, right? Not judging anyway. But like I said earlier, the steps. So we're going to skip step one where you see them. Okay, you've already seen them. So where do you go? Not Where do you go from there? Like, what do you do next? I'm like, oh, okay,
I mean, you gotta chat.
It look nice.
You gotta chat a person up. You know, sometimes like I'm a part of a community that sometimes you may not always know what the person looks like. So you gotta exchange pictures because you know you don't want to have a one night. I mean, you ultimately want to be able to be attracted to the person who you're one night stand with. So you want to exchange pictures. You want to see what each other looks like. You want to like nowadays people.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
When you say pictures,
like face pictures.
Okay. I'm sorry.
You want to see what I look like. You're gonna know what I look like. Cause I'm not really ashamed of how I look. I was like I'm a handsome person, so you're gonna see how I look. But every now and again, people may not. You know, I'll ask for a picture. Okay. Then I say, well, what you looking for? Now, you know, some people, like I said, somebody want to go in there like, oh, I'm just looking to, you know, find friends. They want to fuck. You know, look at somebody who want to say, I'm perusing. They ain't trying to fuck. And so fucking with good intentions. You got to read between the lines. You know, some people real uppity and stickity now.
Meaning?
They just, I'm just want to, you know, chat and get to know a person. No, you don't. You want to do the bending.
Oh. So, I mean, how do you know that that's what they want?
You talk to them, like you chat a person up, and most people nowadays some people can be very straightforward with you. They'll tell you what they're looking for. You chat a person up, they're like, listen, I'm just kind of like seeing what's on here.
So how long does the chat last where you're like, okay, they're not about
with me?
nothing? Not
very long. Okay. If you're trying to get to know what my likes, what I like to do on the weekends, you know, for a good first date, I'm going to keep it moving. Because why do you want to know that? Why do you need to know that?
Oh my
because
God.
You're not even going to like again. That's not important. For a one night stand, all you need to know is where my address is, what I look like, who doing the bending.
Oh,
but
my
I feel
God.
like, but no, seriously, I feel like one night stand you have, but just in general, like just speaking in broadly, you want to just sort of get a feel for the person. You want to know what kind of time they're on. Because some people, as you mentioned, some people aren't necessarily into hookup culture. Some people want to kind of really get to know who you are before they, you know, do the, what do you call it, the horizontal polka?
The horizontal polka dance, yes.
And so, but once you get a feel for that, I always tell a person, no, I really appreciate you. I think you're a lovely person, but I think we're looking for two different things.
Okay, so you're part of the hookup culture. Or you were. You said it's coming back in 2023, so I'm going to say
I wax and I wing. Sometimes, lately, as of 2022, it's been a no-go.
Okay.
But that's because I don't have no time.
Yeah.
Because I get annoyed with people very quickly. Mm-hmm. People want to talk too much. Again, I feel like hookup culture, one night stands. I do want to get to know your name, and I do want to know, like, you know, what you look like, and you know. Mm-hmm. But once we kind of establish that this is a hookup, this is a one night stand, you know, I'm very particular, and my hookups will know. I'm very particular. Don't come over my house with too many clothes on. Do not come over here trying to find somewhere to sleep.
What? Before you... Okay, go ahead. Finish. I'm sorry.
And just know once you come over here, there is no cuddling. There is no chit-chatting. There's no talking about it. This is your Uber's outside.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. So it literally... You said or lift.
Or lift.
Not particular.
Whichever floats your boat, whatever's cheaper.
So it's literally you come in, get naked, do it, and then they leave. Wow.
And people used to, I'm gonna be honest with you, people used to really be thrown off by that. Because again, just aesthetically getting to know me, people wouldn't think that about me. They think like, oh, you would want to just be the wine and dine and get to know you and, you know, get into your mind and, you know, feel.
I am.
If I'm going to do it all the way. I don't believe in all that pomp and circumstance. I don't believe in all of the, all you got to know is your name. And sometimes I don't even need to know that.
Wow. You're giving me Samantha vibes right now.
Because some people want to give you fake names. If that's what you choose to do, that's your business. I've given fake names.
Really? Oh my word. Okay, so so have you ever had a hookup that was that you
Relationship?
That you might want to turn into a relationship?
I actually have.
Okay.
This was 2000 and a long time ago. It really was a long time ago. It turned into a relationship.
Okay. What made it turn into a relationship if it was just initially just that one night stand?
I think there was I wanted to leave.
You?
Yeah, I wanted to go. Because I had back then I had an automatic start on my car.
Oh, this is when you had a car.
This one had a car, so you know how long ago this was. So I had an automatic start on my car from on the keychain.
Mm-hmm.
So once I was done, I hear the car running in the background, and so I was like, you know. I go to work in the morning.
Right.
You know, and they was like, oh, I can hear your heartbeat. And I was like, okay.
Oh.
Like it's beating real fast. It's rhythmic. And I was like, oh.
Oh.
So I kind of just, you know, double clicked the car again and turned off. Tell me about my heartbeat. You know, your breathing is really, you know, neutral and very peaceful. I was like, all right. And next thing I know, you know, turned to a relationship for like almost 2 years.
Oh, wow. That's I mean, not really romantic. I'm not even gonna lie. It's not romantic. But that was so sweet.
I mean, at that time of my life, yeah, that was sweet. Now I would call bullshit.
So now, if you have a hookup and someone says, I can hear your heartbeat.
I can too. It's being real fast because...
Yeah, so you straight savage.
That was some hooking ups, yeah.
Straight savage right now.
Not right now. Right now, I've been a bit... I'm on ice.
Because you've been busy.
Yeah, I'm on ice.
But in the upcoming year. In
the upcoming year, you know, I might, you know, dust myself off and try again. Shout out to Aaliyah. But I feel like really in 2021, because 2020 was just the pandemic, because nobody hooking up in the pandemic.
Yeah.
But in 2021, it was up for grabs. It was up for grabs.
Yeah.
Hooking up.
That is funny.
But I feel like hookup culture is such a thing now. People don't sort of honor. Like I used to be the type of person where I pedestalize sex. I feel like, you know how people talk about like sex is this spiritual connection, is bonding, is soul ties. I used to be that person. Now I feel like if my soul is tied to you, it's because I allow myself to soul tie to you.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
If I don't want my soul to tie to you, then the only thing that's going to get tied up is you.
Oh. Big brother. Big brother. Okay, so I feel you on that. I know that they say that, you know, it's supposed to be when you sleep with someone, you sleep with everybody, so blah, 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 blah. I'm not into all that. And I'm not. I just feel like the moment is the moment. You know what I mean? But for me, this is why I can't do the one-nighters. Because, again, it has to be my mind. I have to... I don't know. It's just, it looks really good, but if I talk to you, that kind of solidifies it for me. Like if you can be very fine, great body, great face, great package, but if you open up your mouth and say something stupid, I am immediately turned off. So I guess it's just, I think maybe I'm not the type of person that, okay, we do a one night stand, then we should be together. Right. No, I don't believe that. We are consenting adults. Right. And if we want a moment, we can have that moment if we choose to do so. But it's just that one time was absolutely positively horrible. And the only reason why I did it, because at the time I don't know if they watch this. If you do, I mean, they know they were terrible to me. Because I told them they were terrible. to me.
Ooh.
But it's because who they were. I'm like, oh my goodness. Yeah, like he want to do so and so. Yeah, hell yeah, he good looking. I mean, he was.
Mm-hmm.
So then it was like,
Was indeed was done.
It was like trash. I mean, it wasn't trash. I mean, I'm not gonna say I was young, but I was young. I was young, and I was like, okay, yeah, So, and that was the one and only time me and this person ever did anything. This is when I had my first apartment.
Oh, the one.
Yeah. So that's how long ago this was.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was like, 19, 20 years old. So horrible. But I mean, and that was enough for me. I'm like, I'm not about this life. Like,
I was just that one person though. Like, you have got to have variety. Because I've had some hookups where I was just like, I've had some hookups and people like, are we going like link up again? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And they don't even get good on the elevator. It's a block. It's a unfriend. It's a mute. It's a delete the thread. It's all of that.
Gosh.
So they want to, have a repeat. It's going to be looking like message not delivered. You've been blocked. So you get the green bubble.
Not the green. Oh yeah, you are blocked with the green bubble. I've heard. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, see, I don't know. It's just everyone that I've been physical with that I mean, it's not like it's a long list, but the ones that I have, it was like a friendship thing, or you know what I'm saying, something like that. It was never just, him fine at the club, let's do it. Like, and I'm not knocking that at all. It's just I don't think my body has ever, and I think just that one, because I wasn't expecting anything out of that. It was just because of who that was. And I was like, oh, this has got to be bomb.
Yeah.
And then it bombed.
Yeah. So
I was like, yeah, that's not the life for me. So that's something that I've never just really dove into, mostly because I'm not part of the hookup culture. Like, if I give you my body, I'm going to want something more than just your body. So, but I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with it at all. I think if you're brave, like, I think that takes a lot of bravery. Like, I don't think I'm shy and I'm reserved, and I never always say what I feel, so I would be too like, you want to hook up? Oh my gosh, I would feel so weird. Like, if I text that to somebody, I would turn my phone upside down and put it down because I'm so, oh my God, I can't believe I just said that. I'm that type of person.
But I mean, the vibes have to be there. I feel like it's never like, you want to hook up? I feel like, well, I know some people, not me personally, but I know some people who have just been in the club and be like, yo, you want to hook up? And it's like, yeah, let's hook up. And then there's a hookup. Me, I feel there has to be the vibes. I'm not just picking random people. There has to be a vibe.
Right.
And we have to, and again, that vibe doesn't always have to be necessarily like, I'm like piercing into your mind and you're piercing into mine. Right. It doesn't have to be all of that, but it has to be just, again, there has to be a mutual understanding that this is going to not be, it doesn't even have to be like, I'm going to keep the one night stand. So it has to be like, it's not, we have a mutual understanding that this is what this is and that you're okay with it emotionally, mentally, spiritually, like you're okay with it. And I have to be okay with it. If I feel like, because I've had some instances where like it was intended to be a one night stand, but I'm like, this person's very interesting. Like, I want to get to maybe know this person a little bit more than that. And so I'll be like, listen, we're not going to be doing any of those types of things. I actually want to get a chance to know you. But if it's going to be a one night stand, there has to be a mutual understanding that this is what this is. And we're not going to be having chit chat. This is not a, what do you call it? A confessional where we're talking about like the experience. No, like we're going to be doing what we got to be doing. And then it may be, repeats, but I feel like specifically for a one night stand, there has to be a mutual understanding. Once you got that mutual understanding, that there's going to be no, because I've had folks who've got their whole feelings involved. I'm just like, listen, I have nothing to do with your feelings.
God.
Like I've told a person, and I know this sounds really, really bad, but I've had people kind of get into their feelings about it. And I'm just like, look, you need to go talk to a therapist about that.
That's terrible.
Because I feel like I don't really want to get into it with you about your feelings about, like I had one person, I was like, listen, don't come to my house with tons of layers on. They was like, it's cold outside. I was like, take a Uber. Like, what are you talking about? Like I've done the trench coat.
No.
Listen, I done the trench coat.
Yeah.
And, walked in and it was boom and it was bang. And I just kind of feel like, but that was because we knew that's what it was going to be.
Yeah.
You understand? But if it was kind of anything other than that, it'd have been something completely different. I'm a sex positive person. I'm super sex positive. I'm very body positive. But more in particular, like being sex positive allows me to enjoy sort of a hooking up with a person without there being too much of me involved in it, you involved in it. We're in it for the experience. And I can get how a person, and this is not just like, I won't even say this is necessarily a thing that's specific to like women. I think there are a lot of people who want to know that the person that they're giving their bodies to, there's going to be some type of reciprocity there. They're not just giving their body to someone just for the sake of giving their body to someone. I feel like people have the right to navigate their bodies like that. And I feel like I met men like that. I met women like that. I met non-gender conforming people like that. I met so many people who just they're not into that, and I respect that. And there's some of us who are just like, listen, the vibe is there. You feel the vibes. I feel the vibes. Let's lean into the vibes and see wherever it goes. I think and then after the fact, there's no ill will. There's no like, I can't believe I just did this. Like the boomerang with Eddie Murphy. We pulled this. There's none of that. Yeah. There's none of that. I feel like there is.
That would be me.
But I feel like, if that is you, I feel like you have got to honor that. I feel like you have got to honor that this is just not my thing. Yeah. And I feel like as I've gotten older, and this is because I hear this so much from the people that I work with, their tales about hookup culture, and I've had people come, in session and talk to me about their hookups. I'm just like, ooh, I'm like, you have to go through, and I'm just like, I would never. And so it's as I feel like now I'm just a bit like I said, host life in 2023, but I do feel like, if you're gonna do it, then do it and be proud. Be proud about it.
Yeah,
walk in your truth.
If you're gonna do something, do it right.
Walk in your truth.
Walk in your truth. Which is host life in 2023. I think that I agree with you about the body positivity, the sex positivity thing. If you want to do it, do it. And if you're going to do it, commit to it. Yeah. You can't half-ass it. Like, if you're going to do it right and do it in its entirety. Yeah. Don't dip your toes in there and dip it out. Like, either you're going to be this life or you're not. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's why I am completely out, because even though I really, like, we talk a lot on the podcast about being single and finding somebody and having that companionship. And I'm at an area in my life where that's kind of what I want more than I want to bust a nut. Right. And I don't know, maybe when I get a few years older, if I haven't gotten that relationship that I'm looking for, then that might be something that that's not going to happen. Might as well just get mine because everybody else is getting this. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's just shocking to, that I did not know that about you, which is, it's not a bad thing and whatsoever. It's actually really, I think, empowering that you can go through and it's important that you let that person know that, look, this is the only thing I want. And I think that's where a lot of people mess up in their life, because people who have that hookup culture mind start messing with people who want that relationship type of man. And they talk to them and they start spending enough time.
Send a good morning text.
Yeah, good morning, love.
You eat.
Yeah. How was your day? And you're thinking, wow, this person likes me, and I'm liking them, but really all they want is the sex.
Yeah.
And like I've said before, like people jump in my inbox and say, I want to, eat you and all that good stuff. And I'm like, I appreciate the person who come at me that way because they're letting me know up front what they want.
Right.
They're not trying to get to know me. They're not trying to butter me up. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate those straightforward people. It's the ones who do all that, good morning, thinking about you. Like you said, have you ate yet? Or let me send you some, let me cash app you.
Queen.
Yeah. I don't like that. All that queen, and it's not good morning, it's grand rising. And all that bullshit. But it's them, because those be the main ones who really don't want a relationship. Right.
They be bullshitting.
They want to talk you up and get you all in that mood as soon as you give it to them.
Right.
You're ghosted, or you keep giving it to them thinking that something is going to happen. Right. And then at the very end, I just don't want a relationship right now.
Right.
Well, dude, you could have told me that shit like a year ago. We've been fucking for a year now. You know what I'm saying? That sort of thing.
Right.
Like, that's the thing that I don't like about it. Like, if this is going to be that, tell me that's what it is.
Right.
Don't
leave any room for ambiguity to happen. I feel like I agree with you. I think it's important that people be upfront. And I think what hinders people from being upfront, I'm not going to say this is across the board, because there's some bullshitters out there that is trying to get into your mind and manipulate you into thinking that they want more from you. And what all they really want is just the physical, the sexual. I believe for the others of people, I think what gets in the way is just that it's kind of taboo.
Yeah.
I feel like it's taboo. I feel like even in 2022, going into 2023, where people are sex positive, I feel like it's still taboo, especially where you are, as far as like where you live. I feel like if you're in the South, I think it's a little bit taboo for, I'm going to say this, and I mean, I love the women who sort of go against the grain. But I think it's almost, society tells women that it's taboo for them to want to just hook up with a person and to walk in her sexuality and express her sexual self.
Yeah.
I think social media culture, rap culture, I think misogynoir has taught women that you can't be that. And so I feel like for a lot of people, especially for a lot of women, I feel like men are always emboldened to be, to kind of,
yeah, they're known for being able to just
hook up and do whatever kind of be their sexual selves. I feel like women are just going to told not to be that.
Yeah.
And again, if you don't want to be that, I feel like you have to honor that. I feel that if that's your truth, you have to honor your truth. You have to honor what makes sense to you. But I feel like for the women who want to be their full sexual selves, I think they have to navigate through a society that polices their bodies, that polices their sexuality. And I hate that for women, because I feel like I know a lot of women who just be like, yo, I just want to get the nut.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel bad for them, because I feel like for a lot of them, there we go. I feel like for a lot of them, and because of the pressures of men and men telling them that, with your body count, all kind of carrying on like that, I feel like all those types of things get in the way of women being able to be their full sexual selves. And so I feel like, but what I've noted that women that maybe like in metropolitan cities, like, up north and, out west, they're a little bit more emboldened to be their full sexual selves. So I think that it's a taboo thing. I think we have to get through, and I'm not trying to say like promote, even though I say hashtag hoe is life, but I want to sort of make the clarification here. I do believe that people are entitled to be their full sexual selves without being judged. And I hate that women have to navigate misogyny and misogynoir and patriarchy as it relates to being their full sexual selves.
Yeah.
And because of that, it's so taboo for them to be that way. And I'm the type of person, I'm just like, girl, you better go and get... the hell with what society says. That's between you and that person. And so...
Well, you know, that's the thing. It's supposed to be between you and that person.
Right.
But unfortunately, in the South, if you do something with that person, they going to tell somebody who tells somebody who told somebody who going to tell everybody.
Yeah.
And so it's really, I mean, if you wanted to live that lifestyle or, you know, the hookup culture or whatever, you can't with good conscience know that what you do is like the Cassie song.
Right.
You know, they gonna tell you, oh yeah, so I think that's really just what it is. Like like you say, it's kind of like, oh yeah, I hooked up with her and so-and-so hooked up with her. She ran through, she did this and this. And you're like...
Because men talk, men gossip.
Men talk. I feel like men talk more than women do.
We do.
I believe that they do.
I don't care if you are gay, straight, bi, somewhere in between, you gossip. And so you discuss who had who and when they had it, and you compare notes. And I feel like because of that, I think that puts an incredible amount of pressure on women to reserve themselves. Because when a person, especially for women, because you never hear a person ask a man what his body count is.
I have a bestie who is a guy, and me and him had the conversation about his body count.
How did that go? Because I've never been asked my body count.
We talked about each other's body count. So, like I said, he's my bestie, so he knows every single person I've ever did anything with, and even I find out new names like every other day. You know, like really, dude. You know, and. It was a lot. It was a whole lot of people. And then it's not that I judge him on it whatsoever, because I wouldn't. You know, he's good looking. He's a guy. You know, you going to do what you do. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it was just a lot. And I know that if it was on the other hand, I know he would never judge me in any way. But again, if it was on the other end, I said, hey, my body count is this, and I was proud of it, they would be like, oh, you're what's the girl who wrote the book,
who Superhead?
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's who.
Shouts out to Superhead.
Shouts out to her. You know what I'm saying? She got her bag when it wasn't even called a bag. She was getting it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But then she told it all. You know, you don't tell your business. You know what I'm saying? Because you restrict your money flow when you do something stupid like that. But I just feel like, not everybody, but eventually I feel like if I was in that type of culture and I had a body count like what he does, and it's a lot of people, you know who you are because you listen, you're nasty. And I had that body count where in the undisclosed location, not everybody know everybody, but everybody knows somebody who knows somebody. Knows somebody. So there would be no way I would ever find a husband here. I would literally have to go to a different state to
find a husband.
Yeah, to find a meaningful relationship, because of course everyone here is going to be like, she done fucked everybody. She ran through. Ain't nobody gonna wife no hoe. You know, because that's what they say.
That's what they say.
Yeah. So, but on the reverse side with the man having that body count, women don't care to a certain extent. Right. They don't care. Right. As long as you haven't slept with a bestie and they sister and all this. It's the who, not the how many. So it's really, like you said, it really is taboo for a woman to be, I'm not gonna say promiscuous, but you know.
I feel like, I think it's taboo and it shouldn't be taboo for a woman to explore her full sexuality, her full sexual self. And I agree. I feel like and not that I agree with it, I don't agree with it at all. I feel like if you get to a space, because, you know, if you get to a point where you are ready to get married and, you know, you bring your girl and one of your boys and they even like,
the whole team.
Come over here, play. We gotta have a conversation. Right. And I have been in spaces where, you know, a guy brought his girl around and it's been like a huddle. Like, you know, I had a 2020, I had a 2019, I had a 2012. It's just one of the things.
I had it 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And the thing is, take in consideration the woman.
Yeah.
Like, I really like him.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was friends with
that person.
These 5 dudes, and I've knocked all of them off. And so it will even if he likes you, he's not going to do it off the strength of it. He want to look like the goof.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just off the simple strength. I'm not going to be the one that, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you have to, I don't know. I just think it's childish is the best way I can come up with it. You know what I'm saying?
Is childish.
Like, I'm not saying that your girlfriend should smash the homies, but if she smashed the homies before she knew you,
right,
that has nothing to do with you. That's none of your business, really. But I think it's more of if he know that y'all did something. Are you still sexually attracted to them? Are they sexually attracted to you?
Right.
Would you still try it? But then you have to reevaluate who your friends are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have, but then, like, do you trust me not to
go
back? Go back to that. So,
see, my last relationship, I'll say this. My last relationship was with a former hoe.
Okay.
And they got a lot of bodies.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked me, this was the only time someone has ever asked me what my body count was. I told them what my body count was. And they told me what theirs was. I was like, oh, okay. All right. And they was like, you have a problem with that? I was like, no, that means you're experienced. That means you know what the hell you're doing. And so I can appreciate an experienced person. We like experience on this job.
Okay.
We hire per experience. Salary is commiserate based on experience. So I kind of feel like, but I also feel like there has to be, at one point in time we talked about sort of emotional intelligence. I feel like there has got to be a space where a person, because listen, people are grown. And I feel like grown people, well, nowadays, anyway, anybody's having sex, but I feel like grown people are having sexual encounters with people. And again, I believe if a woman believes that her body is like to be, clank, 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 clank.
Temple, yeah.
Temple it down. And I feel like she has a right to be that way. And I feel like she has full range to navigate her body in that way. But I feel like if a woman wants to be a sexually exploratory, I think she also has a right to be full range to be that type of woman without a man dictating her worth because of it. And I think that's what makes it sometimes taboo. I don't want to speak for women because I'm never in a position to speak for women, but I believe that it is taboo. Society believes it to be taboo for a woman to engage in hookup culture because they are measuring her self-worth based off of how many people she slept with. And if you slept with unsuspectingly the homies, then your self-worth is in hell now, because now your male partner doesn't have sort of, in my opinion, the maturity to be able to see that, hey, if she looked at my body count, it's gonna far exceed hers, and it's probably gonna, and I probably slept with some of her good girlfriends too, without even knowing. Sometimes, and sometimes you know that those are her good girlfriends,
and did it
and slept anyway. I kind of feel like to get to the point of hookup culture. I think hookup culture is so taboo for people because of the way society looks at sex.
Yeah.
And whereas I'm the type of person where I feel like sex is something that is, it needs to be understood. I feel like if you don't understand sex, I feel like it's very easy for people to slip into that sex is a spiritual bond type of thing. I feel like there has to be a sexual maturity, as I call it, when you're engaging in sexual practices, to know that I can soul tie with you if I wish to soul tie with you, but if I wish not to soul tie with you and I wish to just kind of, boom, bang, and you can get your Uber, your Lyft, or your... I'm from got curb or taxis, going about your way, then like we are mature enough to know that that's what it is and be okay with that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And I don't like the idea of you thinking that your soul has enough power to tie yourself to mine. Like, if we are tied, it's because it's a mutual agreement. It's a mutual agreement. It's not because you're that powerful to me. Yeah. Like, I don't give anybody that type of power to me. Yeah.
It's never given that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I guess in essence, going back to the topic exactly, they can turn into relationships. And like you said before, should they? Sometimes
no.
And sometimes it actually works out too. Yeah. You could meet your best friend through long, many moons ago. many moons ago. I'm talking about before I had nieces many years ago. And if you know me, you know how old my oldest niece is. There was a person that it wasn't intended to be a one night stand. It was just, at the time it was called a butt buddy or a cut buddy or whatever. So that was the understanding of what our relationship was. And boy, did that go to hell.
They usually do.
It did not work out that way whatsoever. That person in turn became my best friend. My best guy friend, because we spent so much time together, even though we had the mutual agreement that it would just be physical.
Right.
We really just bonded over it.
Right.
And, you know, and that wasn't really a one night stand though. That was just, we agreed that we would have sex with each other and that's all we would do. And we definitely did not do that. Yeah. So, but it did form a really good friendship and I trust him with my life. You know, he's amazing. He's awesome. So, but it was never intended to be like a one night stand type thing.
I think that just takes emotional. I think it takes emotional maturity. I think like once you get to a space where like I can honestly say that I don't have any friends who I've slept with. Yes, I have no friends that I slept with. I'm gonna.
I hate you had to think about it.
I'm going to put my hand on the Bible on that, but I feel like if it is hookup, and then it sort of tends to be like, ugh, this is not sort of what I'm feeling from you, but I am wanting to take from this a friendship, and it remains a friendship. I think that again takes a level of emotional maturity because some people just don't know how to navigate that. Yeah, it's really tricky to be like, ugh, especially if you are of opposite genders. I feel like it's especially difficult to navigate that because you don't want people to be like, you know, this whole thing about like men and women can't be friends and so on and so forth. But I feel like there has got to be a level of maturity and emotional maturity for persons to get to a space where it's like, listen, we tried to do this. It was what it was. I don't think that's what I want from you. I think I would much rather a friendship from you and then honor that. Like, I feel like that's special because I feel like in so many ways that's you honoring him, that's him honoring you. And I think that's the two of you honoring what you have as a friendship. Yeah. And so again, to the point of the topic of like, should a hookup turn to a relationship? Not necessarily. Sometimes it can turn into a friendship. Yep. And that's quite all right as well. It can turn to a relationship. That's also quite all right as well. Or it can turn up as nothing at all. I think that's also okay.
Yes. That's the part you really have to be okay with.
Right.
Like if nothing ever comes from this moment, I have to be okay with it. Yeah. And so I know that I am not emotionally mature for that right now in my life because it's not like I'm giving you my body. I want your body. Right. I want more than just the nut.
Right. And you have to honor that. Yeah. You have got to honor where your mind is. You have to honor where your spirit is. You have to honor where your body is. You have to honor where your emotions are. And doing something outside of that dishonors you. Yeah. And so you never want to navigate life dishonoring yourself. Yeah. And so if you're not, and I think that has to take a level of awareness and insight to know that I'm just not in that space to like hook up with a person and it just be that. Yeah. Because I feel like people try to do it. I have friends who try to do it. And everything you know, they're in a 4 or 5 year relationship. I'm like, no, well, you just supposed to be just how y'all about to get married now? But I kind of feel like, again, it's one of those things where you have got to honor what your truth is. And so, and I guess for me, I feel like going into 2023, I feel like, you know, again, hashtag hoe is life. But I feel like hoe is life is up until, I'm not saying I'm going to give my body to anybody and everybody with a post. I feel like it's one of the things where I'm navigating, I'm expressing sex positivity. That if I do engage with sex with a person, it is a hookup and it is a one-time thing, not just what it's going to be. Yeah. I'm okay with that if you're okay with that. If it's going to be something more, I have got to be okay with that. Yeah. If I'm not okay with it, then, you know.
You probably shouldn't be doing it.
Not only even that, it's like as a person, what Maya Angelou says, if a person shows you who they are, believe them.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm showing up and I'm just wham bam, and you want to do, brunch and breakfast and lunch and dates and carrying on, I'm not showing up as that person. Believe me for who I'm showing up as.
Mm-hmm.
I'm showing up as a person who wants to just boom bang. So believe that for me.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times we get caught up in like wanting to pull from a person
Mm-hmm.
and like pull out of a person. I get that, because when it's good, it's good. And we want that good. So we want to pull from a person, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like if a person is not showing you that type of energy, don't pull from that, because you're pulling from a well that's dry.
Mm.
And so I feel like you have got to pull from the well that's willing to give you and replenish you. And so I feel like and that's a part of honoring the self and honoring your process and honoring your body and what your truth is. So for me, once again, hashtag hoe is life. But hoe is life is up until I meet somebody. I'm like, okay, maybe I won't call you Uber tonight. I'll call in the morning.
Baby steps.
Baby steps. I call you Uber in the morning.
I like that.
And I'll even pay for it.
Oh.
That's how I know. That's how like, if I pay for your Uber, and I pays for nobody's Uber. So if I pay for your Uber, just know that you're very special to me. If I never pay for your Uber, now you know.
If you didn't know, now you do.
Now you know.
I like that hashtag hoe is life, because I think what's her name? Baby by Wiz Khalifa Bald.
Amber Rose.
Mm-hmm. Where she was.
Shouts out to Amber Rose.
Yeah, shouts out to Amber Rose, where she was promoting not being a hoe, but being a slut, or I forget what she called it or whatever. And people took it in a negative way, but really I feel like she was kind of expressing like what you're saying, like it's not a badge of shame to want to bust your nut.
It's really not. It's human.
It is human. Like and I think, again, being open, upfront, and honest, and saying, this is what I want, I don't want this, then okay. But I also think for a person, like, I honor and respect what you say about I'm showing up as wham bam and no brunch, no lunch, no dinner, no dates, no whatever. But it's some people who will say, all I want is to, bust this nut. I want to have sex. All I want is the sex. And this person, they see that this person is wanting more, and they play with them about it. Like, well, I want to get you something nice just because. And so they accept the gifts and they accept the dates. And the whole time their mind is still focused on sex. And this person is like, oh my gosh.
It's a trap.
Yeah. They like me.
Yeah. It's a trap.
Yeah.
Abort.
So
it's a trap.
Yeah, I like where you said they're not giving you that same energy. Then just, walk away from it, leave it alone, because you will be I promise you'll be the only person with the egg on your face.
Yeah,
because they're good. Yeah, they are perfectly fine with finding another fool to give them what they need. And
I think that's just what it is. Yeah. I think that people are going to, where one falls away, there's another one to come into its place. And I feel like people, again, as I said, people try to pull from that. Again, you see a tall, fine piece of this, and you see a short, petite piece of that, and you want to be like, all right, well, let me just, let me kind of, let me give the extra, the how, you got the regular sex, you got the Pornhub categories. You cutting splits, you doing tricks, you going up and down, up in the air, you kind of, you got the grapefruit and all kind of carrying on. I feel like, once again, you want to pull from that person because you're into that person, and I respect it. I feel like if you want to do it, you do it. But I'm here to say I've been that person. I've been the person with the egg on the face. I've been the person you doing all of that for a one night stand? What will you do when we get to the relationship part? You're gonna be going all kind of Bonner Brothers and kind of carrying on you 3-ring circus. And so I feel like I not pull from that person. I pull from that person, and it just wasn't given. And I feel like we have got to, again, see a person for how they've shown up in your life. I tell my people this all the time. respect how a person is showing up in your life. Appreciate it, respect it. If it makes sense, hold on to it. If it does not, appreciate it anyway. And see for what it is and know that it does not make sense to me and I have all the full permission to let it go and focus on someone who is going to respect, the guap 3000. You got to get the person who's going to respect it and want to give you back something in reciprocity. If that person not give you something in reciprocity, they don't deserve the guap 3000.
That's right.
Extra.
Mm-hmm.
Sports mode. They do not deserve that. And so you gotta be in, and again, that's a part of, like, as we talked about earlier, like honoring that about yourself and knowing that a person is not showing up trying to give you those vibes and being able to listen. I feel like people kind of, sometimes people get caught up in the like, oh, baby, like, good morning, queen, or did you eat, or listen. If a person, that's talk. Mm-hmm. If a person's not showing up and and taking those action steps, as I mentioned before in the previous, like if a person's not taking those action steps and showing you, and even then, be cautious because people are crazy nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
People will do all other things and have a whole family.
A whole family.
I'm talking about Lil Junior.
Matching pajamas for Christmas.
Matching pajamas. Marriage proposals on New Year's Eve. Like all of that. All across town, out of town.
Uh-huh.
I feel like we have got to be, and I'm not saying be jaded, but I'm saying like be very cautious and be, take your time with people. Mm-hmm. I think we're all trying to find our person. I meet so many people who are trying to find their person.
Yeah.
And we see the, the Instagram posts and, relationship goals, hashtag relationship goals. We all want that. Mm-hmm. And I feel like because we want it, we see it in a person who is picturesque. And we're like, oh, this person is just drop dead, put a floor to the ceiling, gorgeous. Mm-hmm. And we get lost and we get caught up in that. And I always tell people, take your time. Not saying it can't be true. Not saying it cannot be real. I'm just saying, take your time. Fill a person out. See a person in their seasons. See a person when they sad and down and angry. Uh-huh. See a person when they happy, glad, and on top. Uh-huh. See them in all of their seasons. Mm-hmm. And then and as you're doing that, begin to build with that person. I think building is something we're missing out there. We just want to get straight to the castle, straight to the mansion. Mm-hmm. No, babies, you need to build with these people and see who they are and what they are and what they're made out of. And you realize that nigga does not deserve the guap 3000.
Yeah.
He don't deserve it.
He don't deserve it.
That's all I'm saying.
I like that. Look at you dropping more knowledge on the petty audience and the nosy audience. Hopefully you're watching too.
Because I've been there. I have been there. I've done all the things with the things. I've had the egg on the face. I have put egg on people.
Oh! Oh my God! Oh my God!
People have had egg on their face for trying to follow me up.
Go ahead and say the way you was gonna say it.
I didn't put egg on people's face unless you were into that. But
stop.
I will say that people have had egg on their face because they felt like, oh, like this guy is like the tip of the tip. Mm. And it was like, no. And that season of my life, I was the bottom of the bottom.
Ain't shit.
So you got the ain't shit Thomas. Shit. And I'm so sorry for you to get the ain't shit Thomas.
Yeah.
But it's just about taking your time with it and honoring that. Uh-huh.
Man. So, hey, I guess you can or you can't turn a one-night stand into a relationship. So this was very informative. I didn't know all this about my big brother, but I love it. It makes me love you even more. I love it. So thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Petty. Follow us on YouTube. Comment, like, subscribe, share. Every videos you will, if you go to YouTube, you go under Nosey with Good Intentions, you'll see the Nosey and you'll see the Petty podcast. Shout out to our big brothers, Kirk and Michael. Love you guys. You guys rock. Trailblazers of the Nosey brand. You can follow me on the Instagram at BRIGETTED. That's how I spell Gabby, and at Style by Gabby Boutique. You can also follow the Nosey with Good Intentions on Instagram at Nosey with Good Intentions. You can follow them on Twitter with Nosey Good. Morla. Oh, it might be scrolling right here. I don't know. He always set me up for the okie doke. And I do this and it'd be like nothing. He gets me every time. You can follow, I forget Kirk's Instagram. Kirk Fowler 84 on Instagram, or Michael_Skillet_Chappelle. Also, he edits videos, audios, podcasts, wedding videos, family videos, baby shower, baby reveals. He do it all. Hit him up. Take on his service, Sign Language LLC. Sign Language LLC. Hit them up. Support I would say a young black man. That nigga old. A mature black man's business. Mature black man's business. You know what I'm saying? You can't be getting all his goodness for free. You can't get them goodies for free. Okay, you're gonna have to pay for it. You know. Do you have?
Yeah. First of all, shouts out to Michael and Kurt and Gabby. Shouts out to them. And a Nosey family. Shouts out to them. And shouts out to black women. Shouts out to black women.
Don't do that, Michael.
Nah, I just got shouting you out, but no.
He take it
walk
back.
into your sex positivity. But follow me on Instagram at humble.snob, the actual dot. That is HUMBLE.SNOB. Follow me on Twitter. My Twitter is Ratchet. And I implore you to follow me. It is at L_Belicino. That is EL_BELICNO. On there, you'll see Virgoisha Mitchell. Yeah. It's a mess.
Yeah.
It's a literal mess. But follow me there.
Definitely follow him. I mean, you see the knowledge he dropped this week, the knowledge he dropped last week. It is amazing. It is informative. It is funny. And it is just what you need for the new year of 2023. So comment, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never, ever, ever, ever miss an episode from either Nosey or Petty. Are you going to have any podcasts in the future?
I don't know if people want to hear me talk.
I love to hear you talk. I will comment, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell.
I'll have a podcast coming to you soon. I don't know.
Yeah. We love you here on the Petty Podcast.
Thank you for having me. We
are so happy you're here. So you guys have a great new year. And we will see you next time. Bye.